What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Southern University Quarterback Club podcast. It's your boy Al,
It's Catrice.
And BJ Jones.
and in this episode, we got a special guest today. We got athletic director Roman Banks on with us today. How you doing, Coach Banks?
Doing well. How y'all doing today? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
Good.
being here.
Thank you for coming on with us, Coach.
We
Oh man,
appreciate
no
you.
problem.
We got Coach Banks. He's live from TJ Ribs, and I think he just had the overtime series, right?
Correct. We just getting off the air, and so forgive me if y'all can't hear me well. I'm in the back room, back here with the cooks. Got me hid out so I can join y'all today.
Well, we appreciate you, Coach. So, my first question for you, so can you kind of explain what the job title of an athletic director is, and kind of take us through a day to day of an athletic director like yourself? He probably froze up. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably it's not the best service at TJ Williams.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he froze up there.
Let's see if he logged back on. And if y'all got any questions, put them in the comments too.
Yes, please, if you guys have any questions that you would like answered, please place those in the chat. Make sure you are spreading the word to other Jags that we are live and we have athletic director Roman Banks.
And we got a big game coming up this week. We had an off week last week, which I'm excited about. Give us time to rest, recover, and make adjustments to our game. We got University of Arkansas Pine Bluff this week, and we are heading up to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I think the band is going to, if I'm not mistaken. So
They are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing to go up there and support our Jags. So if you can, please make it up there to support our Jags. Pine Bluff is coming off a loss to Alabama A&M, right, on Thursday
Yep,
night.
last Thursday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch that game. I thought it was a very sloppy game. But Pine Bluff showed some spurts. They used two quarterbacks, which I think they're still trying to figure out who is their trigger man. I think the passing quarterback is Jalen Macon, who looked pretty good at certain times, and over the course of the game, it kind of fell through. So they have a new young coach Alonzo Hampton, who is in his
Uh-huh.
career. I think he came from ULM, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Yeah, so
And this is his second stint at Arkansas Pine Bluff. He was a position coach um, up there years ago. So he's bringing a lot of enthusiasm back to the program up at UAPB. And if you've watched them, they played Tennessee State close. Let one get away, Alabama A&M. They're right there. So um, it'll be an interesting game. It's always difficult when you go up there to play square off against the Golden Lions.
oh yeah, for sure. I know the last time we went up there, Kobe Dillon set a school or SWAC record with like 279 yards rushing, if it was that much.
It was 267, Kobe Dillon.
Something like that. I think Kobe Dillon is healed and is looking probably to have another big game coming up this weekend.
Well, yeah, man. That's one thing that the guys you talk about this summer, some guys that we were looking forward to seeing. Kobe Dillon was one of them after taking off last year with an injury. Um, yeah, he's one of the guys I was excited about seeing, and hopefully, him going back to UAPB, it gives him that spark, man. It gives him that spark because we know what he did the last time we made the visit up there.
Oh yeah, and then it'll be good for us coming off the bye week. Like I said earlier, we should be refreshed. I think we have some offensive linemen coming back, if I heard right. Eli Fields is one that I know for sure. We have Dimitri Morcell, the transfer from Bowie State. That plays safety and also corner too. That'll give us some depth in the defensive backfield. And I'm not sure who the other two offensive linemen are. So hopefully that
Hey,
can get.
whatever help you can get up front, man, we'll use it right now.
Yeah.
Coach,
Can you hear me? I think I'm
Yeah, I
good,
can
man.
hear
Yeah,
They
we
tell
hear
me I'm
you.
good. I hate I missed it up. I'm gonna try. I'm sitting out here. I'm gonna sit out here a little bit now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear you,
can
Coach.
hear
Yeah.
you.
All right, let's try it again.
All right. So my first question was, a lot of people get the athletic director role twisted sometimes. So can you give us a summary of what an athletic director is and what the day-to-day operations of an athletic director is?
All right, I'm gonna give you the short answer. Is that okay?
Okay.
That
You
works.
know, basically, my role is to make sure that the university is following NCAA procedures and policies. That's the first thing. To ensure accountability for the university, the only person that can answer for the NCAA is the athletic director and the president. And so, as the athletic director and the president depends on the athletic director, basically, because of the knowledge that he's supposed to have as it relates to government body for the NCAA. So, the first accountability is making sure that the university
Ah,
rules and regulations.
Oh, there you go. He was back.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Coach Banks, we can't hear you.
Coach, can you hear us? I think he froze. He probably in a bad spot on that bad Wi-Fi too.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us, Coach?
Mm.
He
He
just
said
going to.
he giving some good information. Lord, we can't hear.
Oh man.
Oh.
Maybe, let me call Willie very quick.
Okay.
Y'all trying to stop for me.
Hey, but I tell you, hey, Coach, can you hear us?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear us?
We
You might have to. Let me see. I'm just.
All right, Coach, can you hear us?
no.
No.
Mm. It's that service, I'm sure. I don't even know if leaving and coming back might help. I just really think it's the service here.
Yeah.
Mic check. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we hear you good.
I can't hear y'all. Hold on.
Mm-mm.
Refresh it. Refresh it. Refresh the phone. Let me see if he can see the comment.
I don't even know if he's paying attention to the comments. Okay, he out went off.
We might have to reschedule, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's on the janky Wi-Fi at TJ Reed.
Yeah.
If you want him to get his time.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll give him a few minutes and see if he get back on here. I know everybody want to hear him speak and talk and answer some questions.
I know he was giving it too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know he was going at least 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was on a roll too.
I
He
just
was.
I just called Willie to see if somebody there can help him out. The connection to TJ is bad unless you're in the corner by the door.
Mm.
Are you there? Are you there to see if you can help him?
Angel is usually there.
Okay.
She might not be there tonight though.
Can you hear?
I apologize, y'all. I'm trying to do the very best I can. I'm talking to the
No,
manager.
we know.
No problem, Coach. We appreciate you.
I
Don't worry.
apologize. I was running my mouth. Don't even know if you heard anything I said. So
I think the last part we heard was about you being the NCAA liaison or the one who speaks for the governing body.
yes.
Mhm.
So basically, if there's something to do with some infraction, it started with me as it relates to all the policies and procedures for the NCAA and Southern University. So that's the first thing. And obviously, we had a problem with that once before. The second thing is I always say that I work for the head coaches and the student athletes. It's my job that I try to go out to make sure they have the tools in their tool belt that they can go out and compete on a level playing field. So to give them some type of level playing field that they can have success, right? And so it's very important that I am the boss for them. A lot of people say, well, they work for you. I always say that I work for them. And I want to make sure that we can put our student athletes in the best possible position for them to graduate and have success on the field. And so, as it relates to all the things that go into it, that's the biggest breakdown of what my job all about. Now, compared to being a basketball coach, you had 23 people to worry about. Now you got to be worried about the police. You got to be worried about the game day operations, and so that 23 quickly goes to at any given day, the 400 student athletes, all the coaching staff, and then all the security and everything that we have around the game day. So it's a lot of things that you have to put your hand on, and you got that. The only way you can be successful is have quality people around you.
That's good. That's good. So what's some issues you've ran into at in being an AD?
Well, and the one that I would say the issues that we run into as a low, and we are what it is. The NCAA will label us as a low resource institution, right? So it's very it's difficult when you start talking about putting everything in place that need to be in place because give you an example, and I just been talking about that. When I started, most teams weren't full staffed, and we've been able to work our way to being fully staffed. If you're not fully staffed, then how can you expect for uh, a basketball coach that has 5 assistant coaches and a head coach, and you have 1 head coach and 2 assistant coaches, right?
Right.
Somewhere you're going to give in, and it's not just, and you can't sustain a consistent winner. And so I say that funding has been one of the challenges for us at the university, that we're not complaining about it and we're working around it. But as a low resource institution, that's always a concern. And another challenge has been just to get everything back in place that was broken to give ourselves a chance to be successful. I
Okay.
mean, people, you go back and, I don't harp on it, but we was a broken department, right? We was almost, as they say, uh, totally penalized from the athletic department just about 5-6 years ago.
Yep.
And now we're to the point where I feel like we got all that back, right? When I say that, you got to think about football have 85, they can give equivalent to 85 scholarships. We wasn't given that, and we couldn't get that because of the punishment that we had. And so now to say that all teams at the university are fully scholarship. That's a lot, right? That means that whatever the allotment says from the NCAA, we have worked our way back to having that allotment.
Okay.
For sure. And now, Coach Banks, of course, we know that you have a lot on your plate. You already talked about the finances and everything like that. How would you say that you prioritize the different programs and what that process is like for the needs?
Well, I think there are some how we talk about short term and long term, right? There are certain things that I think can happen right now, and when I say that, when you have projects range from anywhere to what we call $10,000 to $100,000. It's just about building up. So we start talking about those program things that we can do versus what it's going to take us if we have to spend $1 million, right? And so we jot those out, and then you have those things that in our corrective actions that we're required to do from an NCAA standpoint when they come back in and evaluate us. These are the things that we said we was going to correct when we got into those problems. That has to be a priority. That may not be a priority to everybody else, but it has to be a priority for us. And the next thing is also when you start looking at the Title IX issues. Now there's a method that we have to work through that says that it has to be equally distributed and equally can be based on a ratio. But we have to, if we do something for baseball, really we have to make sure that it's ratio equal to softball. And what throw it all out of whack is that you offer so many scholarships to football that you have to come back and make sure that you even it out because we know football numbers are so massive.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach. We know that there's been an arm race in collegiate athletics, really for the last decade, and we've seen that trickle over into the SWAC. What are some things that we're doing at Southern University to make sure that we're on the forefront of that with facilities and making sure that we are comparable to our peers here in the SWAC?
Yeah, so obviously I think that Southern is still leading that area in the SWAC, but we don't want to just lead that area in the SWAC. We want to be state and region bound, and we want to be at all level one of the best. And so I just say in a quick synopsis is look at the latest the light show, right? We know that student athletes that appeal to student athletes and that ancillary event around that. So we are able to just talk about it. The lights, we've been able to redo the mini dome as it relates to new goals and new courts and courtside seating. We've been able to go in and redo the meeting space, the Tony Clayton meeting space for football, get them luxury seating and plush chairs and all those type of things. We've been able to add for soccer. We've been able to put them a locker room now in Mumford Stadium. We've been able and also move them where now they are having the opportunity to play in Mumford Stadium under the lights and things that we are building for student athletes. We've been able to enhance. If you just think about it, a few years ago, that softball field was just grass out there. We were playing softball. Now you ride by, you can see how nice it looks. And so I'm saying that to say these type of things that we have to stay relevant. I mean, you talk about apparel. I mean, we are Under Armour. We're a real Under Armour program. And so you will see us on commercials with Under Armour. You see our guys got name, image, and likeness deal with Under Armour. And so we are right there leading that charge as it relates to the things that I think that you have to continue to do for these student athletes. So when you recruit them, they're able to understand it. We just add a brand new program where JAD Vision for us, we've been able to show ourselves now on Jaguar Sports Network, right? So any parent, no matter where you are, you can tune in to Jaguar Sports Network and see your child play. That's new. So we've been able to customize ourselves and into this new area where we're competing very well.
Okay. Um, so what's one of the things where our Jaguar fans can stay in touch with athletics and know what's going on in athletics and kind of see where their money is going? I know a lot of people have some complaints about being transparent. So what is a way we can stay more connected to the athletic department?
So one of the ways that we're asking is, no matter what, they a lot of people ask that question, and I say, well, you can't be in our meetings, but at the end of the day, our our social media platforms and our website platforms are very important. I think our website platform, a lot of people don't visit it. And if people will go to gojazsports.com, then you will be able to see a lot of things that we try to keep people enlightened about what's going on at Southern University. Mm-hmm. And obviously, social media, we have what we call our development social media pieces, and we have our sports social media piece that we try to be very transparent. But also, when we're conducting business and all our fundraisers, we try to make sure that we put out there the gift givers. We communicate with them, we thank them, and people that want to be a part of. Here's my challenge: is that a lot of people might say that I wasn't aware, I didn't know what was going on. And I challenge them, then I want them to be involved, because we do this piece. That's the reason why I thought it is very important that, I know we just did the show here at TJ Reels, but I wanted to get on because every chance that the coaches, or anybody in our administration have a chance to share a word, we want to make sure that we're doing it so we can have a conversation, so people can hear our conversations and to be able to understand what we're trying to do, know what's ahead of us, know that we're asking for their support, like you were just saying, where you need to go and what's new and what we're doing. So we try our best to trend. And everybody know that I'm an open book. I'm very transparent about what we do in the athletic department. And so I say that to say that I think that we have the confidence of the people that's been investing in us for the first time ever since January to the beginning of the fiscal year to the end of June. This athletic department raised $1 million, right?
Listen,
and so that's because I think that we communicate. If you give us $1, we communicate that dollar with you, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that people have spoken to us about continuing to give to us, and that says that they're believing in what we're doing, and we're trying to be transparent about it. And so we will continue to put mail out, social media. We will do everything we can to address what we're doing so the messaging can get out from afar. And this platform helps us a lot. That's the reason why I'm appreciative to you all as well.
No problem, Coach. We appreciate that. And got another question for you, Coach. Um, what's some of the things that's going on with Southern University athletics right now that, one of the things that you want everyone to know about, as far as, some of the positives that we got going on with the athletic department?
Well, the first thing that I would talk about, which is essential to me, is the graduation rate of our student athletes. Mm-hmm. As you know, we had one of the highest honor rolls, swac honor rolls ever for Southern University. That means people making that 3.0 or higher as it relates to student athletes. We are graduating our student athletes at a rate that's much higher than the university side. And so that proves that all our teams, and these are benchmarks for us in athletics, all our teams APR have met the minimum standards that need to be met so we can stay in postseason play and get funding for them. And so number one, that's I check that box. The next thing is this is something that people wouldn't be aware of, but I want to put it out there because you say things that make you proud and can move us forward. all our, when we took over, all programs then all have assistant coaches and allotment coaches that it needs to be successful, right? We can go down the line to every sport now. They have a to be successful. And so I'm glad to be able to report that, because how can you ask a coach to be successful when they don't have the tools? And so I want to make sure we highlight that. Another thing that I'm proud of, that we've been able to bring sports back, men's and women golf, and bring men's tennis back. I'm proud to talk about that. I'm proud to talk about that now. Our what we call Olympic sports, a lot of people want to call it unrevenue sports. They all competing in the top four of a league, basically for championships now. That wasn't taking place. And if you ever had the opportunity to come to any of our Olympic sports game, let's say volleyball, if you walked in there last night, we played Dillard. You think, you're like, wow, this is a great atmosphere. So the atmospheres that we're putting around the games, and making sure that students having a good time and fans are having a good time. I want to make sure that those things are highlighted, because that's going to continue to move us forward. I can talk about, the Under Armour deal that we just signed to be a real school. I can talk about, some of the other things that people see, but there's a lot of things that you have to do first. What I call to have stability, or what we were called to have a great foundation. Those are the things that I like to make sure that we're highlighting, because if we're able to highlight those things, then there's a lot of success down the line for athletics.
Okay. We got a question from the comments. One question was, what is the update on the football locker room?
So everybody asked that question a few times, and so we're going to work on that locker room, and we're going to have a campaign that's going to come from so let me say this. Sometimes there's a coach ask, and sometimes there's a departmental ask, right? Yep. And so you trust all your coaches to be CEOs of their own program, right? Mm-hmm. And you get them a chance to go out and do some things on their own. And so just in all transparency, that I don't think that and you give them a chance that didn't go off great, right, as it relates to a fundraiser for this project for the locker room. Mm-hmm. But we're going to come back with a departmental, and I haven't released that yet, because once you learn, and what didn't, for example, what didn't happen is that there's a structure. When you're talking about coming in doing lockers, you can do lockers, but why are you going to do lockers when you have a AC problem, a flooring problem that needs to be addressed for the stability of the locker room, right? And so when we come in, we want to do it all correct. So we've been having to go in and renew that. So amount of money, so we can be transparent and be able to tell the fans, about the amount of money that we raise. And obviously, the things that was done meant to be well, but it didn't come close to meeting the mark.
Okay. We got another question. Someone asked, why can't we buy jerseys off the shelf or in stores?
So, and here's another thing. And you asked me a lot of times earlier about my role, and I get it as it relates to what I do, right? Sometimes they come and say I can't park my RV because the tree's not cut. I'm the athletic director. I deal with maintenance, but I'm not over maintenance. They say, well, it's flooding over here. I'm the athletic director, but I call maintenance and I push the button to try to make sure that things are done. And so, but I understand it, because when they come, they see that one day, that athletic event. So a lot of things that I really don't govern, right? And so when you start talking about licenses, that we have athletics, we don't have our own licensing yet. And that's something that we're working through with the foundation and the university, so we can start branding our stuff in the store. And it's a lot of things that we perhaps as a university have to grow to and get out our own way. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. It's just like the new ticketing system, right? The mobile tickets, right? That's the latest and greatest new. Everybody going to mobile ticketing, it's going to be paperless in a little while. You go to the Saints game, you know, you got to use your device to get in the game. Even you got to use a credit card to pay for food and all those things. And so we're transitioning to that, right? And as we transition to that, and we've been transitioning this for a period of time, is that then there's a Wi-Fi that you have to make sure that you're ready for in the stadium, right?
Yep.
I don't govern the Wi-Fi for the campus, but it comes back to that part of everybody being ready to communicate. And so these are issues where I'm saying the licensing for all materials and jerseys is that I'm leading the charge. Some things happen faster than some, but to get these things done, we will continue to fight, and I see that day coming. And we're using Under Armour to help us. What you're gonna see roll out first, you're probably gonna see a store on our website, an Under Armour store on our website that's gonna roll out first. That you can go there and start ordering the same jerseys and materials that our team wearing, that our coaches are wearing. That's been my short fix and short conversation as it relates with Under Armour, so we can start getting there as we continue to work on some of the other things that need to happen, so we can get our stuff in. And you see it a little bit now. You know, you see a little bit more coming here and there, but we really want to make sure you get out there and maybe generate some revenue for us at the end of the day. But those licensing don't come through athletics, but we're working on getting our own license for athletics under university.
Okay. I think we got one or two more questions. So we had a good turnout for the Jackson State game, the football game. We've had a 1-2 start on the football seasons. So, what's your thoughts on the start of the football season? And what are any changes that you might make in moving forward if we going along with the season? That's that Wi-Fi kicking in.
I think we might have lost coach. I think we might have lost him. Oh no, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I definitely want to go back, ask that question again. I want to be able to address that.
Yeah. So the football team, we had a good turnout at the Jackson State game. The lights look immaculate. A great turnout from the fans. The football team has started 1-2. So, what's your thoughts on the football season so far? It's early, and do you see any possible changes in the near future as the season goes on?
I don't want to talk about changes right now. I mean, I think Coach Dooley is just in his first year and 3 games in right now. But I do want to say that the Jackson State game is a game that, from an athletic director standpoint, that you've been working toward, that type of crowd. And y'all hear me say Old Southern all the time because that's what I'm used to, right? That's my anticipation. And winning is a key component of that. At the end of the day, if you win and everything is good. And so I do feel like that was a lost opportunity. I understand being a coach. I know what goes into it. And so, I have to stay at a level response and not react because of that. But certainly there was some, wasn't pleased with that outcome. And I'm transparent. I was able to share with our coaches, and we was able to have a good conversation about it, because my expectation is to have those type of games and win those type of games. But I do know that the games ahead of us, you have to stay focused because you're the leader. Is that if we went 1-0 against Alabama A&M, then that was important because we're in first place, right? And then we go 2-0, we still in first place this weekend. And so I have to look at it, but I would say this is that Coach Dooley is no stranger to Southern, and upon his arrival, he know the expectations. All of us know the expectations, and so the expectation is for us to win a championship, and our expectation is to grow this program where we recognize as one of the best at our level, right? Not just in the conference. And so I'm believing and trusting in the fans that they'll come out and support these young men. And look, when a team's struggling, they need help. That's the bottom line. You know, they need you to come out and lift your voices and help push through. And I was thankful for the fans that came out our last home game because I really think that helped push them through. Right. And sometimes when you get that one win and a player been playing bad and you're helping push through, then they can get better. And I do believe, and I have a lot of confidence in Coach Dooley and his staff and those young men that we have one of the best teams in the conference. And my expectation is at the end of the day to be one of the best teams in the conference. So when I say that, you can read between the lines. That's my expectation.
Coach, I got one more question. I'm sorry I'm asking all these questions. It'll be about 10 years since we played Gonzaga in the tournament 10 years ago.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to, and what's your expectations for the new coach and the new basketball team coming up?
So Coach Johnson, and I want to make sure I'm speaking clearly, and I never talk to to say no somebody better than the other person. But Coach Johnson been around a long period of time, and he has if you look him up, a lot of things that he accomplished in his body of work, and so he's another guy that we had to go out and raise money for because to get that level of coach that we wanted, right? And this is why I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm not about selling because this is the pocket of salary that we have. I'm about trying to create it and go get it now. We to that point. And so I think that we created a package for someone that the last hiring was off the table because we just simply couldn't afford it, right? Mm-hmm. And so my expectations is that you're probably gonna see a different brand of ball, a different approach, and a different demeanor from the whole department of basketball. And so I'm excited about. I think he's the type of person that can come in and thrill us right out the gates.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited too. I've been able to look at the recruiting class. It looked like a lot of guards. I think we got a 6'8" guy who might can play guard too. So
yeah, and look, the recipe has been there all the way from Ben Job and when I was there. You got guys right here in this state that can get the job done, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think if you look at what he's been able to do, he has that Louisiana pedigree where he can walk in certain gyms because he's from here and had those relationships and get those guys versus somebody coming in here from somewhere else, don't have those relationships and go out and get other players. And so I just trust, and one of my mindsets is someone that can come in and have those Louisiana ties and relationships that we can get some of the best from here first and then go out and get some other fill in some other parts. Not go get people from other places way away and fill in to start here first and then go out. And I think that he has the pedigree that he can go in and steal some players that's going to make a difference from some of our better programs, high school programs.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach. Al just mentioned almost 10 years ago, you held that SWAC championship trophy as the head men's basketball coach at Southern University. How is that feeling different than you doing it as an AD where you're helping Coach Funches hold up one of those trophies, or football holding up a divisional title trophy? Just tell us what's the difference between the two and kind of the similarities of the two.
So the similarity is the thrill of winning, right? So I'm the GM for all these coaches, right? And sitting down, you get the bond that I have with these coaches and the confidence they have in me to actually make some plays for them behind the scenes so they can get the players that they need, right? And so to me is that appetite of being a basketball coach and wanting to beat everybody every time we stepped on the floor is that appetite I have for making sure all our programs in good places and winning championships. And so my job, the way I feel like, is to empower that. So it's not just about basketball now for me. It's about this whole athletic department where these coaches can go out and be successful and hold that up because behind the scene, and I don't want to be in front, behind the scene, I want to make sure that I'm doing my job to empower them to go win. That's the main thing for me because I'm a sore loser, right? I don't want to be around nobody when we're losing. I don't want to talk to nobody. And so my mind gets to popping all the time about what we need to add from a departmental standpoint for them to be successful. And so my thrill every night is making sure that these teams, these coaches now hold up the trophies that they need. And knowing I've been a coach before, some of the things that I can do from a department standpoint to empower them to do that.
Appreciate that, Coach.
Yep.
I think you kind of answered this question, but somebody asked, can you hire work study students to run the concession stands at Mumford Stadium?
All right. So here goes another one for you all. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there is that though the concessions run through Mumford Stadium, which everybody would say the athletic department, football house, football stadium, or whatever it means, Airmark has total control over the concession stands. Mm-hmm. And that was a contract made that I had nothing to do with by the university, right? And so I will always be there to advocate for anybody that want to work want to be a vendor to talk to Randy and his staff. But at the end of the day, that's an Airmark decision. They're talking about trying to get people to come out in the stands and sell cold drinks and things like that. I would love that. That's not a decision that I can make and say yes to. That's a decision that I have to sit down with Airmark and urge them. And Airmark, I guess, look at their approach to what they can do to make that happen. You know, they finances and all those. But that's a university contract with them. And so I know it look like that I should be overseeing that, but I don't directly oversee that. That's an Airmark deal from the university.
Okay, I appreciate that. Catrice, you got any questions?
Well, just if there are any upcoming projects, initiatives, SU fans should know about, or anything like that.
And how do we give? How do we give to the department also?
Say that again.
Any initiatives in the athletic department, and how do we give to these initiatives in the athletic department?
Yeah. So once again, we're gonna be launching a few things. So, you know, I want to make sure that everybody follow us and we have a lot of people that repetitively give to athletics through the foundation, right? And we have some links out there that's available on our social media website and our Go Jazz Sports website for athletics. But you know, for me, the conversation, there's a batting cage that we're trying to work on. There's a indoor practice facilities that we're in communication with as it relates for, I just won't say for football, I'm using the word all-purpose facility, indoor for practice facilities and other things that we're talking about as it relates to still trying to upgrade, you know, locker rooms and things like that. And so these projects will be coming at you. But one of the things that I would ask more than anything, if as many people as possible, we can hold 28,000. If we got 28,000 alums that will become a season ticket holder, will go a long way for us, right? And now you can get it right from your phone. I mean, you know, you don't have to come to the box office like people say have to come to the box office. You don't have to do that anymore. And so I'm going to ask that you continue to do that, right? Because this helps us academically to make sure we get tutors to travel with the teams. This helps us as it relates to fifth year aid. And let me tell you about fifth and sixth year aid. That means if a student, you know, play here for 4 or 5 years, we want to make sure that if they're in the reach of graduating, we want to make sure that we pay for that to make sure they graduate. So these dollars go to a variety of things. And so we're going to have a campaign coming out pretty soon that's going to talk about 2 or 3 things that we want to happen right now. So I'm going to ask that everybody stay tuned. And if you want to give to us at any point, then you can always go to our gojazzsports.com. We got a tab, a development tab. You can see everything that's going on inside of athletics.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, I think one more question. Somebody asked, when is the top of the mini dome will be redone?
You know, if you realize, that Southern probably haven't. We just put the Southern on there probably about 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and so that's a great question. But once again, I'm going to advocate. I can't say that because I'm not the maintenance person over that dome. And as much as I complain and fuss about grass and stuff being cut and making sure that the campus is kept for game days when our visitors come there, I only have the communication piece. If I had my way and with funding and everything, there'll be something a little different about that dome as it relates to the top of it and trying to do some things. But that's been talked about. And so at the end of the day, that's still going to come under, our maintenance and grounds department to help get that done.
Okay.
And obviously, I know it needs. I'm all about that. I see it. It needs a cleaning of it, and our conversation with leadership is that we're working on that as well.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yep.
And definitely, we definitely appreciate you coming on. And
For sure.
anytime you would like to come on, we would love to have you. This is one of many revenue streams that we use to spread the word about Southern University athletics and initiatives, and encouraging people to give. So you're definitely always welcome here. We just want to let you know that.
Yep, let's maybe do something. I like to keep people updated. Maybe do something the week of homecoming. That Friday night we always have a thank you party for our fans and student athletes and coaches and cheerleaders, everybody to come back and just to give hugs and everything. That's something that we do from the athletic department. Say thank you. So that would be that Friday once again in the field house on the 3rd floor. We're looking forward to see everybody there. And also this year you're going to be able. We out to get 1,000 people to watch the soccer team that Friday. So you come to our event, you're gonna be able to sit outside the end zone and watch, or you can go in, in the stadium and watch them. And so I want to make sure that all of our teams are getting their just due. Obviously, I know football is a religion here, and we all understand that in the South, right? But I also want to urge everybody to, if they haven't, to get a chance to see some of these other sports and teams that are participating. I think you'll be thrilled. We're bringing the Pelican Relays back, right? That haven't been back. We had it started off last year. And, there's certain things. And let me tell you what happens is that because we were able to invest in that track and do Jaguar Park, that mindset have changed because now, guess what? We're possibly going to host the SWAC track meet for the year. So there's a lot of things coming down the pipe. And if we continue to do these things, we're going to continue to be the standard setters, Southern of our league and of this state.
Okay.
Guess what? It go unsaid, but we led our level, and we are second in attendance at our level last year. We have to be first this year.
We need to keep that momentum going, then, Coach.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Well, look, we appreciate you for coming on. Like BJ said, we definitely welcome you on future shows and future weeks. Anytime you want to come on, just let us know, and we'll be in communication with that. For all the people who listening, please subscribe to the channel and follow us on our social medias. Like Coach Banks said, make sure you check out gojagsports.com to see everything that the athletic department is working on, and also to invest in the athletic department. And this is episode 8. It's your boy Al signing out, and see y'all next week.
Go
All right,
Jags.
I
Have
see
a
y'all.
great one.
Y'all
Thank
get me
you,
back
Coach
on the week
Banks.
of homecoming. Bring some updates. I enjoyed y'all. Thank y'all, and go
All right.
Jazz. Let's get ready to go get this win this weekend.
Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Thank
Go Jags.
you. Go Jags.
Go
Go
Jazz.
Jags.